Hello YouTube world, this is Alex the Gaming Teacher and welcome back to my walkthrough of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. In our last episode, we were wheeling around Sora's hometown, Destiny Islands, and the objective is that the main character, Sora himself, as long as Riku and Kairi, they're trying to look to go to other worlds, and the last thing we're trying to do is find provisions. So they're using a raft, essentially, and I have no idea what they're thinking, like thinking about, okay, can a raft travel to outer space? Maybe it can, but anyways, that was their plan. However, it went to smithereens because the island got sucked up, our main characters got split up, and sure enough, they actually granted their wish. They all went to a different world. As you can see, Sora here is no longer at the islands, he's in the place called Traverse Town. So that's what happens. Now on the other end, from Disney Castle, we have our characters Donald and Goofy. They received a letter from their king, Mickey Mouse that is, and what King Mickey was telling them to do is, okay, there's trouble arousing, I gotta go check this out, so I want you guys to go find the key bearer. As you can see, Sora, that is the key bearer, his weapon, the Keyblade, is what Mickey was referring to. So they went to Traverse Town, that's who they're looking for. So what it turns out is all three characters are in the exact same place, and they don't even know that they're all looking for each other. So that's what we're trying to approach next. Now, in addition, Sora also met some Final Fantasy characters, Leon, Aerith, and Yuffie. They just talked to him about how the Keyblade is, why the enemy's attacking him in all that case, what is his essential role. So Sora didn't ask for this, but he is the big picture now. So what we have to do now is we're going to have to find a big giant Heartless. It's about to destroy this town. So I'm going to go out here. So I know we haven't gone to the 3rd district yet, so it should be in this direction. However, we can't. Yeah, so that's like Yuffie's saying. So I don't know about the 3rd district. That's where the Heartless is going to be found. We can't go through that door though, so we're going to have to take the long route and go through the 2nd district. Is there any? Yeah, there's nothing in the trash can. Just checking just in case. So we're going to have to head to the 3rd district. We're going to have to take the long route. Now I could have gone to the 3rd district before, but there was nothing we could have done at this point. But now we are. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to be entering a boss fight pretty soon, so whenever I do that, I like to just go in with full health. So I'm not going to bother with these guys here. Can't take any chances, even one hit. Always like to have full health, full, everything full. Plus I don't want to be wasting any time. Yeah. Okay, oh, the music has suddenly stopped. So I'm going to be checking items, sets, equipment, set on that. And let's see what's going to happen.
Oh. Gosh, are these the Heartless guys?
Let's go get them! Goofy!
Oh, that must have hurt for all of them. It kind of worked out though, so the Heartless did us all a favor there. Let's see, we're getting trapped, so this is where it all begins. Now we are going to be fighting as a party. Donald and Goofy have joined the force. Gotta get rid of these soldiers here first. These pesky soldiers. Man, I can't get a okay, I was like, jeez. Very durable, but here is the grand fight. Now, in the original, this is called the guard armor we're about to fight. Now, they had this boss also in the first version, but the difference is that here, they changed the color, so it makes it look more like a clown. Weird looking, but it's not a big deal, but it's something I'm not fond of. Alright, so what we have to do is basically just destroy it. So mash up all 5 of its body parts. So you gotta be careful with those spinning hands. They go really fast, so you can just deflect them by attacking as they're spinning. And then, oh wait. Anytime you see it doing like that, a rapid spin, it's almost impossible to dodge, but just kind of make sure you just try to move as way as you can. It seems to be like its most powerful attack. Ah, okay, sometimes it just misses. Now, I typically like to go to the hands first though, because those are the ones like are kind of like moving on their own. The feet, for some reason, they don't seem to do as much at this point. You can see mostly what's happening is he just keeps spinning its hands. Just keep mashing up. Somehow I did not get hit there. Okay, so when you destroy a body part, you can see HP orbs spitting out. I seem to be in pretty good shape right now, so I'm not going to go around collecting. But if I was low on health, of course, I would be panicking and running around getting all those orbs. Look at that, already 2 more parts. Okay, so the feats, all they're pretty much going to do in an attack is just they kind of slowly stomp towards you. Big stats. That's okay, it's separated now. Yeah, so something like that. So again, you can just deflect it every time, and it's already gone. So anytime the body part's about to attack, just hit it, time it well. You get tech points, and gets all stunned. Okay, the only thing the torso does here is just this rapid spin. So okay, that's a little hard to deflect. You gotta time it well, but anyways, we're already finished. So that's basically what the fight is. Nothing too bad. Say it look all possessed. Now again, you're called a heartless, yet you had a heart in you the whole time. That I do not get. Ah, brave warrior.
So, you were looking for me?
They too have been seeking the wielder of the Keyblade.
Hey, why don't you come with us? We can go to other worlds on our vessel.
I wonder if I could find Riku and Kairi.
Of course.
Are you sure?
Who knows? But we need them to come with us to help us find the king.
Sora, go with them. Especially if you want to find your friends.
Yeah, I guess.
But you can't come along looking like that. Understand?
Oh?
No frowning, no sad face, okay?
Yeah, you gotta look funny, like us. Yup. Whoa.
Yes, but ones on happy faces.
Happy?
Yeah, that's a creepy smile there you have.
That's one funny face.
Okay, why not? I'll go with you guys.
Donald Duck.
Name's Goofy.
I'm Sora.
All for one, one for all.
And that's how the 3 Musketeers were formed. Okay.
That little squirt took down that Heartless. Who'd have thought it?
Such is the power of the Keyblade. The child's strength is not his own.
Why don't we turn him into a Heartless? That'll settle things quick enough.
And the brat's friends are the king's lackeys. Slug on the eyes, they're all bilge rats by the look of them.
You're no prize yourself.
Shut up!
Enough! The Keyblade has chosen him. Will it be he who conquers the darkness? Or will the darkness swallow him? Either way, he could be quite useful.
Yeah, that scene always gives me chills for some reason. Especially the first time I ever played it, when you see all those Disney villains. Just tells you how epic this game will turn out. Especially Maleficent at the end. It's like, yeesh. Some intense stuff there. Alright, so we're back, then we're going to be getting a bunch of goodies coming up. So, 500 money. Nice little price there. And like I mentioned before, when you fought Leon, didn't have to beat him, but since I did, I'm about to receive a nice item here. An elixir, good. That's the item basically, it just restores your HP, your health, and your magic at the same time. And it restores it in full, I believe, as well. So that's an item you would definitely want to save for like the big fights. I'm gonna get a couple more things. So first of all, they're mentioning gummy ships. So the thing that you saw Donald and Goofy leave Disney Castle in, that was called the gummy ship, and that's how we're gonna be going from one world to another. So we'll be seeing that very shortly. And now, Alright, here we go. There's the moment. So magic is now under our command. So no more just attacking. Fire is the very first spell. So I'll demonstrate that in a very bit. And then dodge roll. So another ability, and this one's a very useful one actually in the early going. So it would actually have been nice to have it against Leon. But basically, as you see there, just press square. When you go from as you're walking, press square. You can instantly dodge attacks. As long as they don't follow you. I was wondering where was Jiminy Cricket. I was like, during that whole fight, is he just watching on the side? Anyways, his role, it's actually kind of a nice role. He's just basically going to record everything that goes on in this game. So actually, just take a look at that. Alright, so well... Okay, let me first just show about magic here. So magic, as you can see, is below the attack command. So all you have to do is, from attack, press down, select, fires our only spell, boom. That's how you use magic. But there is a more convenient way though. So I'm going to show that. Something I highly suggest you do, because if you just go to, there's going to be more magic spells. It could be a little of a tougher way going at it. So if you go to customize, and see, they already set it up actually, but if imagine if it was blank, if you want to set up fire to be a shortcut, just press on the blank, just go to the empty spell, or press the blank, then go to the spell, fire's our only choice. When you press that, then you're going to set it to your command. So I'll just use triangle since they already had it like that, and then I'll show you guys, now that it's a shortcut has been made, you can see you just have to press L1 and hold, press triangle at the same time. So always just hold on to L1 first, just to make sure you're at that shortcut. You can see press triangle, fire has been unleashed. So that's just a easier way. And I'm going to go ahead and equip the ability dodge roll right now, so I'll demonstrate that. Let's just imagine if you're standing still, someone's about to fire something at you, then boom, just dodge to the side. You can dodge as much as you want. That's something you're going to see me using a lot. Just expecting one fight actually coming up, like a couple episodes from now. Very, very handy to have. Alright, in Jiminy's journal, there's not really much at this point, so just talking about, okay, he's going to be writing all the stories that are going on in each world, and then he also lists all the characters, so that's basically all the characters you're going to find in this game. Nice thing though is, I'm not going to go through these all, it's going to take forever, but I'll just point out a couple. When it talks about Disney characters, it gives a little information of what their role is in the game, but also, nice thing is they actually tell you which movie did they premiere in. It's like for Mickey Mouse, of course, the very first one created, 1928, that is how old he is, as far as being in movies. And Jiminy Cricket, 1940. Not as old, but yeah, still up there. Pinocchio was 1940, that's been a long time. And then the Heartless, it tells you how many you defeated of each, it tells you like how they kind of attack in a way. If you press triangle afterwards, you can also just look at how they look like in person, if you want to get a close look at them. Same thing with the bosses that we fought. So anyways, that's just it, but I'm not going to go through it all. I will leave it up to you guys. There will be more stuff in this journal, so we'll come back to that as we go along. But for now, we'll just keep roaming. Now, before we leave, there's actually going to be a few things we're going to be checking up here. Here's one of them. We're going to see this is called a Trinity Mark. At this point in the game, there's only one that we can use. There's going to be 5 total colored Trinity Marks. This one in blue, this is the only one we can use. There's a few of these in the town. So what you got to do is just basically go next to the mark, press triangle. You got to make sure that Donald and Goofy are in your party though, so you'll hear me say that later on. But there will be other party members later in the game. Donald and Goofy are the ones who have to... Oh, look at that big giant one. I bet that was probably like 25 money. I never really know what unit they use. I'm guessing just like, is it dollars? So 1 money is like $1. But yeah, the Trinity Marks, Donald and Goofy have to be there, so at this point there's no choice. They have to be with me. Okay, so this one just sent us up here, but you can see there's going to be a treasure chest. So just make sure you open the treasure chest before you jump down, because if you jump down first, trust me, you're not going to be able to get up here for a very long time. And you saw we got a postcard, so, let's just go ahead and deliver that right away. Yeah, so that's pretty high up there. There's going to be a certain ability that will allow us to get back up there. But just pointing that out. Okay, let's see. Do I want to go to the item shop? I think we'll We'll go there last. Because there's actually, I want to go actually back to the 3rd district. So again, that's where we fought the guard armor. But I still haven't actually been able to explore it. Like I mentioned before, there's a couple things that there was nothing we could have done there, but now due to defeated the boss fight, there are some things that we can do there. Another thing you'll notice is that every time you beat a boss in a world, immediately afterwards, the final boss, the Heartless do not show up until you leave the world. So if you want to go around Rome and do like whatever you need to do, it's kind of nice that there's no enemies standing in your way. Especially with those treasure chests. Very irritating, we have to defeat them, defeat the Heartless. Okay, oh look at this. So you probably wouldn't notice it from far away, but if you get up really close, you can see those are actually 2 dogs. If you guys have ever seen Lady and the Tramp, I do not recall ever seeing it, but I know what those 2 dogs are from. Alright, so we got this door with the fire symbol, but before we do that, there should be another Trinity mark up this ramp. So if you go up here, again, this is one you would never see unless you just roam around. But there it is, another Trinity mark. Okay, more money and a camping set. So camping set is kind of like cottage. It's an item you cannot use during battle. So it's one you're better off using right before a boss fight. You know, if you're not near a save point in that case. Okay, over here we're gonna just examine this because this is actually a very nice shortcut. We don't have to go through the whole 2nd district if I ever want to go back to the 1st district. So by examining that keyhole, now we can just go straight there. Alright, now we're gonna go to this one. So if you see a symbol with a fire, then let's just think, oh, what if I shoot fire at it? Will the door burn down? I guess not. You heard that chime, so anytime you hear the chime, that means you did something good. And basically we just were able to go through. Oh boy, so look at this is a one creepy area. So you're thinking about, the town looks all beautiful, the music is depressing, everyone looks like they're in a bad mood, but this area, yeah, this is not an attractive place. Be one of those things, would you stay in this place for a month and get $1 million? I don't know. Anyways, we'll just go in here.
There's something about this musty place. It reminds me of the secret place back home, where we used to scribble on the walls. Remember?
Kyrie?
Sora?
Oh, that's the 2nd time that Sora has daydreamed about Kyrie. Proof that he definitely has a crush on her. Ah, this is Merlin, our good old pal, with his big, long beard. Yeah, that's a pretty dumb question. Like, does he look like a Heartless at all? I think Sora's still thinking about Kyrie, that's why. Got some like Harry Potter type magic going on. How can you fit all that stuff in that little bag? Of course it's getting bigger. Oh, he even kept the torch. That's... maybe he lit it afterwards. Who knows? Alright, so basically Merlin, what his role in the game is just to help you out if you need to practice magic. That is something I am not going to be doing at all, because I've played this game so many times. But if you guys ever feel like you're struggling with, like for example the fire spell, if you're struggling to hit the enemies with fire, you can always just talk to him, practice with furniture, and yeah, just a way to practice your magic. And over here, you can probably recognize already, it's not Cinderella, but it's the fairy godmother. So she has actually a certain role as well, a very useful one, but not of any use right now. So this is definitely going to be a place we're going to come back to many times. Which is another thing why I like this game. It's like you come to a place and feel like, okay, we're done with this world, right? Are we done with this for good? No, we're actually going to be coming back to this world many more times. And that's actually true for a lot of the other worlds as well. So the feeling that you have to go back to other places because there's still more things to do always feels nice. Okay, so yeah, like, the reason why I came here is because you saw there was another Trinity mark. I didn't really have to come to this place besides that reason, but you know, just like to get some things out of the way. Looks a lot nicer now than it did before. It was all empty. Now to answer that question, now I would say yes. I'll stay in that place for a month to win $1 million. Alright, so that's it. We're gonna go back now. There's actually there's another place I want to go into in the 2nd district. Because, again, there was another case where if I had gone there before the boss fight, would have been a waste. But now we go back there, there's something we can actually do. So instead of going to the 1st, I'm going to go back to the 2nd district. Yeah, that little doorway there, that's going to play a role later on, but not right now. And again, still no Heartless. A lot more peaceful this way. But the music is still not peaceful. Okay, not the hotel. So it's over here. So you can notice this place. It's called the Gizmo Shop. Now we will be coming to this Gizmo Shop later on, but what I wanted to go is go through the Gizmo Shop. So yeah, nothing we can do here, but we have to go through the doors on the other side. Now if you got on here before, you would have saw there was been a ladder, but the ladder would have told you it looks too insecure, so we're not going to be able to climb it. Well, now we can climb it. So we're on top of the Gizmo Shop roof. What we have to do is just go across these rooftops. Now over here you're going to have to make a safe jump, like that. Now there's going to be a treasure chest. It's on the left side, so you see a treasure chest, you're going to open that up. Crystal shard, alright. And you're going to jump through this window here. And 3rd district, so where's that going to take us? It's going to be way up here. And so again, before you jump down, make sure you go to one of these corners right there, so examine that. Get another postcard. Again, those postcards are just being a little pesky. It's like, that's the 2nd one where you have to get way up there. Thing is, if you jumped down before, though, already know you could have still gone back. But it's a long ways, though. So we're gonna, okay, another elixir. Nice. So that's 2 elixirs at least. Ah. Looks like the guy that turned into a Heartless came back from the dead. Alright, so we're gonna go to the drone here now because Trinity list has been entered. So what that tells us is basically all the Trinity marks. In this case, jump. That's the action they've been doing. There's 17 total, which means clearly there's gonna be marks in other worlds. And we've got 4. And I believe that is all from Traverse Town. So 4 of the Trinity marks were in Traverse Town. So that's all we're going to do now. So we're going to go to the item shop and see, because in addition, they don't only sell potions, they also sell weapons, and I want to just take a quick look. Okay, a little pricey at this point. I don't really have that much money. And you know what, on second thought, Sora has his own original weapon. I think I'll leave Donald and Goofy's with theirs as well. Speaking of which, let me see, I got that item from the guard armor fight, so I'm going to go over, so where is it, equipment. How do you... Oh, wait, okay, you have to select the blank spot, that's it, okay. And then Brave Warrior. So this one basically raises max health points and strength. Now for an item like that, I typically think, okay, that's got to go for Goofy, because Goofy is all about, you can already see, he's got way more health than Donald. And his strength is typically what his strength is his strength, whereas Donald, he relies more on magic. So Brave Warrior, something like that's going to go to Goofy. If there's an item that would raise the magic, in that case, that would go to Donald. Now, I do also want to customize. I'm trying to... No, not config. Yeah, customize, okay. So we go over here, and this is basically telling you how often do you want your allies to be using certain attacks. So like for Donald or Goofy, do you want them using regular attacks more often than not? Or do you want to use them to special attacks? So for Donald, his special attacks, of course, was magic. For Goofy, though, as you could saw, there was an ability he learned early on. That we'll get to later, so make sure you do that soon. But for something like this kind of, I just like to keep it all in the normal spot. So frequently is where I'm going to be putting everything. especially for Donald. You'll see why. If you guys have played this game already, you already know what I'm talking about. That Donald, he just goes too crazy with his magic. Doesn't even matter how many bars he has, he just uses it right away. I feel like he still even does that if I change it to occasionally, so it's really bizarre. But it kind of makes sense though because he has poor attack strength anyways. But especially with the items, I gotta make sure I take away their items because they just, even though I say use them only in emergency, they feel like they use them at their own will. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. We're gonna have only an emergency for using items, and then frequently. So again, I'm not trying to restrict them on everything. I do want them to use their powerful attacks, but not too often. I feel like frequently though. Frequently is still way up there, so I'll see. If it's still a bad habit, then I probably will just change it to occasionally. It's not really a big deal anyways. You can let them do whatever they want. It's you that have to do the fighting yourself. So, okay, I'm gonna go to the accessory shop here and see. Okay, again, this is all pretty pricey. So I gave Goofy already one accessory. He doesn't need anything. And then Donald, you know his defense is low. There's gonna be accessories coming on later on. You know, in each world there's gonna be at least. You should always get at least one accessory. In many worlds you get more than one. So. Alright, over here I'm just gonna say, we got a fireplace, let's just light it up. There we go, looks a little nicer. And let's see, I think that's about it. Trying to think. Yeah, so again, we're gonna be coming back here a lot of times. You will clearly see that, but we are gonna get out of here now. This music is driving me nuts. Alright, here we go, the world map. So you can see Disney castles are on the side. Unfortunately, we can't travel there, but yeah, that's not going to happen in this game. So we're at Traverse Town. Here at Chip and Dale, they're just talking to you like if you have two routes to go at. The stars, as you can see, battle level stars, just tells you how tough the world is. So this one has 2 stars. For me, I always like to just go in the order of how many stars there are. Just make things more simple. So I'm going to go over here where it's just 1 star. Donald, if you're just explain what's going on during these flights. So one thing that they actually added on between the original and this Final Mix version, when you go into different worlds, it would just usually just be like, okay, you're traveling, destroying ships, and then you're there. But over in this version, with the Final Mix, you can actually repeat those routes, but they also like certain missions. If you need to get a certain number of points or destroy a certain number of enemies' ships, you actually get prizes out of that. So I figured, you know, if you add something on that's I really don't dislike that kind of thing. It's not like you're forced to do it. You don't have to do those missions, but something extra that, you know, in case you felt the game was too easy, gives you a little bit of a challenge. Okay, I was wondering. So I know that originally in the original version, X was what you had to press to attack. For some reason, they have it as circle here. Now, what they're mentioning is, we look at the bottom right, just like with Sora's health, the green bar is basically the health of the ship. And then the blue bars, something just like with magic, it's something we can't use yet, but those are like special lasers where we have to press triangle. Yeah. Just firing at random here. Alright, and when you destroy the enemy ships, you see these little diamond-shaped crystals here. Those are basically just gummy parts. So anytime you pick one of those up, when you pick up a bunch of them, then you can like just create a new gummy ship of your own, or can even add on to this one. For me though, I always like to make my own version, but it's something I'm not going to do just yet. These first couple routes are pretty simple. Feel pretty safe even just with one little cannon here. But I'm not going to show you guys the entire creation. I'll probably just show the first couple parts, because it's something I'd like to put a detail into. I'll just show you guys how you would create a ship. That's going to come probably after a couple of worlds. It will not wait that long. But it's always nice to get a bunch of gummy parts first, though. Especially when you get all the special ones. Alright, so that's it. That was pretty simple. I don't even think I got hit once. But here we go. This is the first Disney World of the game. not including Disney Castle. Wonderland, okay, so pretty much know what that is from. Alice in Wonderland. So we are walking in a different Wonderland. Goofy, slipping on the job again. Yeah, wake up.
Oh, my fur misses! I'm late, I'm late, I'm late! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear! I'm here, I should be there! Oh, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late! Oh, the Queen, she'll have my head for sure!
I don't know how you could be late. You have the clock with you the whole time. Unlike me though, for me, like I always wake up super early in the morning, but I always wake up early before my alarm for some reason. But yeah, that bunny was sure in a hurry. Alright, so Wonderland. The name speaks for itself. Like, there you go, a triple door. Whoever was the architect for that, probably daydreaming. Oh, look at that, a doorknob with a face on it.
How did he get so small?
No, you're simply too big.
That talks!
Must you be so loud? You woke me up.
Good morning.
Good night. I need a bit more sleep.
Wait, what do we have to do to grow small?
Why don't you try the bottle? Over there.
Did the doorknob just make that table rise up for some reason? Alright, so what you gotta do is you're gonna have to drink from one of these bottles to become small. So just press triangle. You're gonna drink from it. Now they don't know Goofy drink from it because I only saw Sora do it. Alright. Okay, we're gonna destroy these enemies.
Come on! Come on!
Oh boy. He fell asleep pretty quickly. But yeah, that's his role, just to sleep. Okay, we got some new enemies here. These here are called Red Nocturnes, and all they basically do is shoot fire at you. So, what you could actually do, you could actually even deflect the fire back at them, and believe it or not, it will actually damage them. It'll taste their own poison. But they don't have that much health though, so it kind of be a little waste to do it, so just destroy them instantly. Alright, I feel like... Just get more of these guys. Oh, okay, that's right. So we need to become big again. Totally forgot. What we have to do is... the doorknob. I don't even know what's behind the doorknob. I don't know if anybody knows. But we actually have to get big. We're going to have to push this bed. As you can see, there's a little pathway that's being blocked by the bed. And then, again, we're going to have to destroy these enemies first. Okay, whatever. Couple. Wait, Tech 2P. I feel like one of those fireballs got deflected. Alright, we're set to go. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to drink, become big again. Alright, what we have to do is push this bed into the wall. Somehow the bed went from 3D to 2D. Two-dimensional. Alright. So there we go. You can see there's a pathway. That's where we're going to go through. Queen's Castle.
Court is now in session!
I'm on trial? But why?
is hiding.
This girl is the culprit. There's no doubt about it. And the reason is... because I say so, that's why.
That is so unfair.
Well, have you anything to say in your defense?
Of course. I've done absolutely nothing wrong. You may be queen, but I'm afraid that doesn't give you the right to be so mean.
Silence! You dare defy me?
Hey guys, we should help her out.
We're outsiders, so wouldn't that be muddling? Oh, yeah. And that's against the rules.
The court finds the defendant guilty as charged for the crimes of assault and attempted theft of my heart. Off with her head!
No! Oh, please!
Hold it right there!
Who are you? How dare you interfere with my court?
Excuse me, but we know who the real culprit is.
Uh-huh. It's the Heartland.
Anyway, she's not the one you're looking for.
That's nonsense. Have you any proof?
Should've just said because I said so. Right back at you. Theft of heart, though. I'm thinking, you're the Queen of Hearts. Shouldn't yours be the most powerful? I don't know how someone would be able to steal your heart. But yes, as you always say, off with everyone's heads. So what we have to do is we're going to have to find some evidence. Sword just made that claim out loud that Alice is innocent. The Heartless are guilty. Although he didn't say Heartless, Goofy almost spit it out. So I'm first going to save here. And actually... let's check the stats here. There's... okay, that's... okay, so I'm going to equip Goofy's ability. I just forgot about that. So at this point he only has 1 AP point, but fortunately Rocket is only cost 1 AP. And again, like I said, this is basically Goofy's form of magic. The only way he's going to use his MP bars are from his abilities. He, unlike Sora and Donald, cannot learn fire and all that stuff. So we'll go ahead and equip it. It doesn't hurt, at this point especially. He only has 1 bar, which kind of sucks, but that makes up for his big health. Dang, Donald needs a chill pill, but I could see how, though, a head popping out of nowhere like that, it's pretty freaky. The Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat. Always talking in riddles. You just never know what he's saying. Alright, so we're gonna have to find that evidence. Guys out of the way first, though. Because the evidence is just like with the treasure chest. We have to clear all the enemies before. First one's gonna be right over here. And gosh, already. Okay, I don't have the time for you. Get out of here. Alright, that's it. Alright, so first let's just get this Trinity mark before I miss that. Okay, this time no money, but we got these little marble looking orbs instead. And these are basically, they restore your magic. So I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to just unleash some fire here. Now, they already all went away. But you can kind of see, in addition to the magic bar, there's also that little yellow one that's called the charge gauge. And so basically if you're running out of magic on one bar, but basically it's like a second bar of its own, second magic bar. Which I'm not really fond of that. That was in the original version, but I think it would have been fun if they just kept it at just with just the blue magic bars. Okay, so the flowers asking for a potion.
This should help.
So if you give it what it asks for, it's going to trade you in for another item. Okay, here we go. More magic orbs. Oh, and a high potion. That's actually it's a good trade for me, a bad one for you. Let's see. Well. Oh, really?
Fire!
Ah, come on. Okay, this actually only also mentioned too is like, say like you're tired of attacking the enemies, but you can't get rid of them. You can always just have lock onto the enemy, and if you just press triangle constantly, or even just press it once, that's going to signal for Donald and Goofy to attack that enemy straight up. So that's something you'll probably see me do in a couple fights, especially if I'm low on health and I can't heal myself. Then I'll just like stand by the side and just kick back, relax, let the allies do the fighting. Alright, so this one's asking for either, so oh, I only got one, okay. So can't be sets. Oh well. It doesn't really hurt to have that, but too many is now or something, because that's an item I usually don't use anyways. I've only a couple times. Alright, let's head toward the back and see what we got here. Right, of course. So we gotta get these enemies, because there's other evidence up in this area. I think there's one more in the forest here. I feel like Donald's using his magic often, but he's still got 2 bars, so interesting. Alright, so there's a treasure chest over here, so if you just go to the very edge, yeah, big jump should be enough to get there. What do we got? Scan G, okay, cool. So basically, like I mentioned with the gummy flights, if you see any items that end in a capital G, that means it's basically an item that can use to build your ship. So Scan G, that's something I'll definitely be using later on. Alright, looks like I saw another chest there. I don't think that's too high up. Alright, so let's see what we got. Oh yeah, Dalmatians. Well, that's another area in Traverse Town. So again, another reason why we'll be going back there very often. So basically the idea is that there's been 99 Dalmatians, except for the mom and dad, Pongo and Perdita. They got spread out into all the other worlds. So we just found the first 3 Dalmatians of the 99 that are missing. And basically if you go to Traverse Town, I'll show that later on. If you find a certain number of Dalmatians, you'll get certain items. Okay, so we actually got into the right spot. We got another piece of evidence here. Oh yeah, so if you notice, we're actually back in the bazaar room. The name speaks for itself. So bizarre. The walls, you'll see later in this world that we'll be coming back into this room, but not in the exact same format. So at some cases, the floor that you see there would then become the ceiling, or it'll become one of the walls. This world is just, it's interesting. Now, I've never seen the original Alice in Wonderland. I've only saw like the remake versions, the remake, and then looking through the glass. So I don't really know what it looks like in the animated. Alright, anyways, okay. Again, I don't have any either, so nothing I can do. There's another area I want to access. Actually, oh no. So this is something where, once again, you have to come to this flower here. So if you want to go to all the areas in this forest, we have to become big again, just like back in the bazaar room. Again, this world just kind of drives you nuts a little bit. You have to become big, and then we have to go back to small. In this case, only Sora has to become big, so we have to do first. There's gonna be a little tree stump here. Gonna step on that. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna go over this tree here. Now, before you smack that tree, you want to examine like a little acorn, whatever that is, like a fruit. Swipe it off, and then before you eat that thing, then you want to smack the tree, and you'll see later on why. All right, take a bite out of this. Magical acorn that made us small. Now we're gonna go back up. First we'll go over to here, so all the way in the corner. Alright, so we're back in the bazaar room again. Okay, so there's the last evidence. So as you can see... Oh, okay, dang, I thought I wasn't gonna make that. But it looks like we got all our evidence. I think that's the one that the cow is talking about being the tricky one. That's right, we got another spell already, Blizzard. Now for me, honestly, I like Blizzard more than Fire. In this version at least, what I know is that Fire is probably a little more powerful, but Blizzard can actually damage more enemies altogether. I think Fire is only directed to one enemy, no matter what, but if you get a group of enemies together and you use Blizzard, that will do, that could do damage to all of them, in a way. I'm actually gonna put Blizzard on X though, so for some reason, I always felt comfortable using certain spells with certain shortcuts. So I'm leaving Square as a blank because my favorite spell, and again, I know some of you guys already know what I'm talking about, that's what I'm going to be reserving for Square. It just seemed to always click for me. It's not something you guys have to do, but it's whatever your preference is. Okay, we're going to go back into the forest, and there's one more area. So again, we smacked that tree. Now if we go all the way back up here, see, it's a lot easier to access this back side. Wait, bizarre room again. Oh wait. Okay, this was just a big waste. So we actually didn't even need to come to this area. We're back in bizarre room, but as you can see, there's nothing more to get. All right, so we did find all our evidence though, so that was the whole objective. So we're just gonna go back to the Queen Castle. And then we're just going to talk to one of these card soldiers, doesn't matter which one. And stepping up to the podium. So we got 4 boxes here, and then the queen is going to have just one piece of her own evidence. And as she said, we're going to have to pick one, so... I don't know how this queen ever got elected. Her methods of trial, like everyone's under a spell or something. Unless the only population in this world is just those card soldiers. Alright, so you have to pick one of the boxes, doesn't really matter which one, and if you find all 4, the odds are gonna be in your favor. You'll see what I mean in a bit. So pick this one. Okay. Soldier came out, but if you picked a certain box and if Goofy would have came out instead, that would have been bad news. That would mean you had to go into this next fight with, I don't know, I believe just one of your allies would be locked up in a cage. But fortunately not. They're both there still. This next fight is going to be pretty quick. That's why I didn't really save the game first. So what I don't get is those card soldiers just left in the air, but they're not on top of Sora. So what we have to do is destroy this tower. But before you do that, you probably want to get a couple of those card soldiers out of the way, because they can deal some damage. So get them out of the way first. So how do you know they'll stop attacking? So at this point in the game, I don't have the ability that checks the health. So if you just look at, like, for that one over there, the stars are above it, that means it's completely stunned. So, no, I'm just gonna go over here. It's Queen of Hearts. It's annoying. Yeah, look at that. Just one hit, stuns her. Alright, so just gonna keep mashing this up. I don't need to pick up any orbs. Should be done. There we go. Just like that. Alice is a magician, apparently. Or an escape artist, something like that. God, Queen of Hearts is yelling. I mean, it's kind of your fault. You were literally 2 inches next to Alice. How could you not see who kidnapped her? Yeah, what do you have to say about that? Quit darling. Yeah, blah blah blah. Alright. So that was that. So we have to do. Alice has been kidnapped. We have to go find if she really is gone for good. And before though, realized that Donald also learned an ability. First, I'm checking the stats. Okay, so Donald, right? No, sorry, Sora. So Sora learned another ability, Berserk. Now this is one that basically, as you can see, it only works when you're low on health, which means if you're hearing the siren, then your attack goes higher. Now, for me, normally, if that was the case, I would probably just heal myself. But if there was ever a time where I don't have any potions left, you know, it's not a bad one to have. It can be considered like your little comeback ability. Hopefully, it never has to come to that. Alright. I think I'm just gonna wrap it. Let me save. Gone through a lot. Okay, I think I'm just gonna keep it up there. So I'm just gonna say now, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button as well as like the video. If you have any questions or thoughts from what you saw, please comment down below. I'd love to hear from what you guys have to say. So just let me know. Having said all that, I will see you guys all next time.